You're listening to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast, episode 24. Welcome to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast, where positivity and spirituality create an enhanced life's journey with the wisdom of Ifa and Orisha. I am your host, Iya Omileti Olubumi. Welcome to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast. I am Iya Omileti. Thank you for hanging out with me and spending some of your time to discuss all things Orisha and Orisha's spiritual journey. I want to change things up a bit with this bonus episode. Since it's the end of 2018, I thought it would be so fitting to have a moment to think about 2018 and reflect. I might be mixing a bit of some personal stuff and some Orisha wisdom stuff. So let's have a little relaxed time and let's reflect together. 2018 has been quite a year. It has been challenging, long, and yet rewarding on many levels. I'm going to talk about 10 reflections, and they are not in order of importance, but 10 nonetheless. Honestly, this episode is just pouring out of me. So with that, let's get started. Reflection number 1. First and foremost, a huge thank you. I am grateful for the wonderful community that we have. When I started Orisha Wisdom, it was just an idea. The idea that I didn't want another person to go through a lot of the bad stuff that I went through when I was an Alejo and an Aborisha. I wanted folks to walk into our traditions having a great start from the beginning. I remember hiding this from my husband, but not from my godmother. She gave me her support and I am forever grateful to her. She gave me the strength, to muster up the courage to ask Ifa if this would even be a good idea. In reflection of this year, I am very, very grateful to her for her support. I can't thank her without giving the greatest of kudos to my husband for his support. He knew that we, meaning my godmother and I, were in cahoots with each other for something, but he had no idea what it was. Until I had no more hiding space and I had to come clean, which was right before going to Ifa. So I was like, whew. The idea was something that I basically had to sell to him. But once Ifa cleared it, with time, he came on board and he has been a huge support as well. I honestly am very grateful to have a wonderful husband like him who is not only in our traditions, but supports me with this endeavor. In reflection, looking back, I really am filled with great gratitude towards them both. Number 2, speaking of gratitude, I am uber, super duper grateful for many of you who have been with Orisha Wisdom since the beginning and folks who have joined our space and have shared their thoughts, your thoughts, your experiences, and frankly, your journeys. I am more than grateful because it lets me know that Orisha Wisdom is on the right path. Another special kudos to those folks who have taken their time to speak with me live because yes, when we send out emails and ask for a phone number, or if you're on Facebook, I am known to make phone calls because honestly, how else are you supposed to really get to know someone and someone's situation? Sometimes text does not really say what you're trying to say. You know what I mean? Kind of like the tone. Things get mixed up when it comes to text. This year, looking back, I am grateful for you. Number 3, the third reflection. Oh my goodness, the fear. After starting the podcast and the Facebook group, I saw a great need for an in-depth, step-by-step roadmap for new folks to come into our traditions, to learn what they really need to know, which half the time they don't even know that they need to know certain information, so that they don't get scammed, they don't get mistreated, they don't land in the wrong spiritual house or with the first priest that they see because they think that it's a sign. And that is how Alejos 101 was born. It is one of the jewels of Orisha wisdom, and it really goes in depth to the teachings of protocols and how-tos, and it can really be helpful, especially when you are a new follower of Orisha. And especially for those who do not have a house and don't have a godparent, because it teaches the skills of how to find them and what to do. But why do I mention fear? You want to know fear? I was so scared when I finished this project, which took months to make. I didn't know how it would be received. I didn't know if anyone would like it. I didn't know if anyone would find it useful. I know I would have found it useful, but I didn't know how it would be received. So what I did is what any successful person would do, wink, wink, because you can't see me winking. I procrastinated and then procrastinated a little more. The fear was there. I was so scared. Fear. I would wake up with knots in my stomach because I didn't want to press a button to send an email. It was crazy. Then I started my beta group for that course. These would be like my testers. They would get everything. They had a lot of access to me. We had plenty of calls. We had a lot of chats, and I was so scared. Fear, F-E-A-R, was my name. I was scared when I would make a call, and I thought my heart was going to jump out of the skin and crawl out of my phone or through the computer. I just didn't know. I was so scared. And looking back, there was nothing to be afraid of. But if you place me back in that position, let me tell you, I think I'm starting to feel the anxiety all over again. Fear was a factor. But working through that fear and remembering that this was something that not only I feel very passionate about, but something that I know I would have loved to have when I didn't even know if any godparent in their right mind would take me. Reflection? Work through the fear. Even with fear, just work and do your very, very best. Reflection number 4 of 2018 is realizing the need for more togetherness between us priests. Man, with the rise of the internet, mafirefungogong every day, there is so much misinformation out there and folks trying to DIY these traditions, and the rise of folks calling upon Orisha without the right to do so. What I mean is uninitiated people doing things that only initiated priests have the right to do, that it made me realize that us priests must unite, put our differences aside in order to guide folks into where they belong instead of focusing on the differences of lineages. Not everyone is meant for everything. I've met many other priests in different lineages, and I realize that this is a struggle for all priests everywhere. And we all do need each other. We can work together respectfully and do what we have come to this earth to do, which is basically to guide and serve our communities. Reflection number 5. We're halfway there. Oh my God, this podcast has reached over 10,000 downloads. If you saw me right now, you would see that I would have like the mind blown face on, like, look, to put this into perspective, when I started this podcast, I only imagined that it maybe would reach 5,000 downloads by December 31st of 2018. Seriously, that's what I thought. And it's double that. I could have never done that without all of you because this community is amazing. I don't even know how to begin to explain what that feels like. Sharing with the podcast has been something that I've just come to love. It is a time where you can share something, but it's in a place that you can come back to it and hear it again. Because, for example, when you read a book the first time and you love it, the second time, you're going to pick up something that you didn't pick up the first time. And if you read it again, you will pick up something else. I find the same when it comes to podcasts. You always pick up something. And it's an amazing venue to help people and to share, to have our traditions not demonized like a lot of the media demonizes us and all of the traditions. So that's been quite something. And I am grateful. Number 6. This is a reflection on the personal side. Ori work is the hardest thing ever. It's like, oh my God, super duper hard. I began doing Ori work last year, 2017. And then I took a slight break, and then I hit it again hard this year. And this is what I found. I'm a speck, and I need to get better. Really, that's what I've found. To really get to be what my essence is, I need to actively work every single day towards my highest self. And when I put those affirmations out there, the Ori affirmations, they aren't just to be pretty. And I didn't post them just because they were so cool, but because I myself needed them. Because I needed to stop always reaching out to ask, am I doing okay? Can you tell me that I'm doing good here? Or my favorite one, please tell me that I'm a good person. Those of you who know me personally know that my growing up, well, that came with a lot of challenges. Even now, my relationship with my parents is very weird because I am a spawn of the devil, according to them, since they are Christians and I am in these traditions. It has been a challenge to keep my mind in order. And I feel that Ori work will be a high priority again on my list in the coming year because honestly, only I have the tools that I need to move forward. And my Ori makes sure that it is so. It makes sure that I get my readings, that I pray to Orisha, that I do ebos, that I reflect, that I meditate, that I meet the right people, work on my work, do the things that I need to do. Nothing happens if Ori doesn't sanction it. This is something that Orisha wisdom really, really believes because I see what it has done in my life personally. So looking back, more Ori work, please. Reflection number 7. This is another one on the personal side. From looking back on this year, it is that sometimes you have to make unpopular decisions and choose to be you. Sometimes you have to be okay with just being you. And if you are working towards the best version of you, as flawed as it is, if it is the best, the very best that you could come up with, then it has to be enough. Folks probably have seen on Instagram, on my Instagram accounts, some of my calligraphy work. And it has a lot of positive sayings, and I've received a few likes and a few loves and a few messages here and there on them. Truth be told, that many of those messages were just basically to remind me that I am enough, that I am doing the very best that I can, and that it has to be enough. I didn't realize how many other people were on similar boat as I was, but yes, we all need to boost ourselves. And if we really are doing our very, very best, we are enough. Reflection number 8. Speaking of boost, a huge reflection of 2018 has been Ofo Ashe, the power of the word. Words have really become a thing in our household because we tend to joke a lot, like everybody does, right? And sometimes something will come out like, oh, I am so stupid. Oh yeah, I'm just this. And as insignificant as these little sayings are followed by a laugh afterwards, they have power. Basically, I would joke, for example, that I'm this or that, and that little saying would be reinforcing my ori, that I am this or that. And this is not what I want for my life or anyone around me. So now when I say stuff, because I still do, and I am a work in progress, I will correct it, especially if I catch myself, of course. For example, if I say, I am stupid, or I'm really messy, or I'm forgetful, or how dumb can I be, and blah, blah, blah. I change it if I catch myself with, I've made a mistake, but I've learned from it. I'm not stupid. I'm human. I'll do much better next time. Or, I did forget this. I did it. I'm sorry. I do apologize. This will not happen again. And this is why it's not going to happen again. I'm going to put it on my schedule. This is my plan of action, or whatever it is. Words are really important. If you want to learn more about Ofuashe, of course, you know that you could go to orishawisdom.com/Ori1 and you can get your own. If you haven't, it has a really nice explanation and action items, because I really do believe in how words can affect you. So I'm going to go back a little bit with the whole thing on, oh, I'm stupid. It has such a negative thing that it does to your inside, your being. Still learning that I have to use words to empower myself, to nurture myself, to boost myself up, to take care of myself, to challenge myself, not to put myself down, and not to do it for others. I think it's stronger for ourselves because we are our own toughest critics. And Ofuashe, man, that's a really powerful Yoruba concept. And I hope that each and every one of you will be able to get them, to learn it, to begin to learn it. Because as you see, I am going to go on year 3 working on it, and I still haven't scratched the surface. Well, there's that on that reflection. Reflection number 9. Another reflection for the year. This year, I was hit with an ailment that many have heard about. The shiny things syndrome. Many of you may have heard it or something like it. It goes under many names, but I'm going to call it the shiny things syndrome. It gave me the indecision of the indecisions all year long because every grass seemed greener on any side other than mine. A topic for discussion was better elsewhere than here, or a project was better anywhere other than the project that I was working on. And it made me derail a few times this year, not only in my personal life, but work, and even with Orisha wisdom. Not sure if the lesson is learned, but I am very aware of it right now. The truth is this, whether you're starting a platform or starting a job or on your job or in your spiritual journey, it is so easy to look outside of your backyard because things are better there. So-and-so's house is much better than yours, right? They have much more fun in their egbe, or their rituals are better than yours. Their bembes are better than yours. Or that person's job, oh, that's better than yours. And if you fall into that, you may really fall astray. Really, it's not falling just astray. It's astray from your own path. Sometimes the answer is already with you, and you just have to look within, or look at your own egbe, or look in your own career, or look in your own business. Man, look in your own hard drive, look in your own library of books for the answers that you need. Stay away from those shiny things. And you have to know that there is a course that you have to go on. There's a path. You have to stay your course. There is a time to look for other things to help you on your course. But this year, I really was hit with shiny things syndrome. Advice and reflection, stay your course. All right. We are almost there. Here is reflection number 10. Looking back on 2018, a question really popped for me. How can I serve more? This year, I got carried into the hundreds of questions that have been asked. Some of them are the same questions. How do I find a godparent? How do I do this? How do I know if this is for me? How do I get help? Help me with this. There was an overwhelm for me because I want nothing more than to help folks find their way and be happy. But I realized a few things. Number 1, I can't help everyone. 2, I can't help folks who don't want to be helped. And 3, I can still help folks. It's like this. I realize that people will be people, and they also have their own roads to take, whether they have to sort out their mindset or figure out if this is where they want to be, or learn to be themselves in a new tradition. Oh my goodness, that's a big one, by the way. Really, it is. It's like, where do you fit in, but still being you? My thoughts are now cemented into how can I better serve? I've watched the elders of my house say that we priests are here to serve. I've heard it again, and then I've heard it some more. But it never really clicked until sometime this year. Because I have seen that if we are more into helping others mode, then the universe lines up to help us priests. That is amazing. In Ifa, a great babalao or awo Ifa would also be known for his deeds, and the community would support him in his life. I see that this never happened for anyone who came from a view of gimme, gimme, give me, but more of how can I help you? It's quite amazing to see that we priests can help our communities and be well as well. It feels awesome when we speak with someone and something clicks. You know, when you're listening to them and you hear their tone change because, they got an aha moment. They got something that you were saying. Or after following your advice, they avoid a crazy situation. It's like you get sweet, fuzzy, warm feelings, and it's really amazing when you help others. Life really does align to help you. That is the best energetic exchange ever. I want to share that so that you too can experience that. Help others with a genuine feeling of giving, and the universe will line up to help you with the energy of giving. There you go. Those are my 10 reflections of 2018 in this bonus episode. What are your reflections for this year? Do you want to share? If you don't want to share with the rest of the world, you can email them to me at light@orishawisdom.com, or you can share them in our Facebook group, the Orisha Wisdom Community. Many of you who know me or have been following Orisha Wisdom know that I am a huge fan of pen and paper. Take the time to write down your thoughts. What were some of the lessons that you learned this year? What worked for you this year? Those two questions can really help you in the new year to start out right, or maybe write it down, print it in nice paper, put it somewhere where you could see it, especially what worked for you, lessons that you learned, because sometimes we go back on bad habits and bad behavior. I don't know how the magic of writing works. Frankly, I don't care how it works, but it puts things in perspective for me, not only in my work life, personal, but also spiritual. We are all human beings, and our experiences form our lives. It's not a neat little, let me see if I can get this word, compartmentalized package. Like, not everything is in its own little box. Everything kind of mushes together. Our habits and how we think all kind of goes into the whole ball of our experience. Don't worry about all of the links if you didn't get a chance to write them down or if you don't remember it. They all will be on the show notes, and that would be www.orishawisdom.com/24, the number 2424. I am sure that you have heard a small buzz, and if you're on my mailing list, you may have seen an email asking for your opinion on something. It's been a little something that I'm working on, but I am really, really excited to find out what you think about Orisha greeting cards. Yes, that is very exciting, but I can't bring anything to life without knowing first what you guys think about it. So I have a super easy link for you. It's orishawisdom.com/cards with an S, CARDS. That is a short survey to let me know what you think about Orisha traditions, greeting cards. Let me know, because I think that they could be something that we can all share with the folks that we love within our own tradition. So the link again, if you didn't catch it, is orishawisdom.com/cards. And again, don't worry about it. I will put it into the show notes, which is orishawisdom.com/24. Before I go today, I would love to ask for a favor, which would really mean a lot to me. hop on over to iTunes and leave me a review on this podcast or a comment. If you're driving, don't do it. Please don't. It can totally wait. But only these few minutes of your time will be so helpful. They continue to provide for this podcast. And honestly, I read each and every one, and I can't wait to hear from you. May the new year bring you so much abundance, health, and the zest to enjoy your life's journey. Until next time, may the elevated ancestors and all Orisha bless you immensely. Odabo!
Thank you for listening to the Orisha Wisdom Podcast. Be sure to check out the show notes at orishawisdom.com/podcast. Can't get enough of Orisha Wisdom? Check us out at orishawisdom.com and subscribe to our community. Remember, the wisdom of Ifa and Orisha is all around us. Be blessed, and until next time.